Online course over here in this region is still relatively very new, all right? It's still a new concept, a new kind of experiment, but whether you like it or not, it is going to happen, and it's going to happen really, really big time. And you can see the move coming in from China, actually, all right? Actually, at this present moment, we just have a recent case study with the University of Nottingham. The dean of the Nottingham was watching the Facebook of a Chinese student. He was saying that, I saw your Facebook, your kampong is actually, seems very, very poor. And I look at your record is that you are not rich. How do you pay so much money for your master's program? Then the student say, sir, actually, I may be earning more money than you, you know. How is that so? She says, in China itself, to get into University of Nottingham, your results have been so good. So there's a long waiting list. So she comes to Malaysia and study the program in Nottingham. And each time, immediately after she has attended the class, she actually used WeChat to teach thousands of students. And each time she speaks, the student only pay her 10 RMB. But for every class she does, she make few thousand ringgit. So it's like, compared to the professor who's working for the university, she probably earn a few times more than the professor. And I asked the professor, would you like to work for me? Because you are the dean, maybe more thousands of people will log on online when you start speaking, actually. So sometimes this type of disruptive technology can actually change the whole paradigm, the whole rules of education, actually. And it's going to come really, really big. Now, as a personal experience is that I find that during the holiday seasons as such, kids or students should take one or two of these courses. I believe very strongly. Like even for my own children, when they are young, I send them for computer thoughts class and kind of IT class and stuff like that. But I realized that all their life in primary, secondary school, and even A-levels, they actually straight A's for all the computer and IT subject because they're exposed to it. And when the school start teaching it, they constantly reinforce their ruling position over there. And when you do something online, it's actually not easy. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of grit to fail and do it again and try again over and over again. Actually, like say, if two of us have the same results, all right, who do I pick to enter the university? I'll pick the guy who actually completed the whole online course. From a personal experience, I attend the MIT edX. I attended Coursera, but most of the time, I don't finish it. I'm not committed to do it. But if they can commit to do it, it actually speaks a lot about their determination. What it means that you can actually learn without being supervised, all right? Just like when you watch a Matrix movie, oh, I don't know how to fly a helicopter. Never mind, download the program, then immediately you can fly the helicopter. So you want to do something for your company or the group or for your own company that I don't have the skills. I just go online immediately, I learn it, and I get the skills. But you have to be determined to stay on the course until you succeed. All right? So this is really, really, really interesting. All right, what I'm going to share with you is basically the 21st Century Pedagogical Skills online virtual academy, but I don't think I'll go into more all the theory bit. No doubt we have a lot of professors here who may want to hear about the theory bit, but I'm going to skip that because I believe that sometimes for many presentations, if we give a long presentation, all of you will fall asleep, especially after 3 is a graveyard session. To keep you staying awake, it takes a lot to keep you staying awake, actually. And the other thing is that when we do the international school study with the International School Association, do you know how long is your attention span? Guess, anybody, how long is the attention span when you talk to kids in the school? Okay, maybe some kids are that. Actually, the general accepted thing is that whatever the age, you just add 2 minutes. You talk to a 7-year-old, 9 minutes. You talk more than 9 minutes, they will shut off. All right? Now, average age group here maybe 30 minutes. So I'm going to talk less than 30 years old. So I'm going to talk 32 minutes, not more than that already, or else you'll shut off, right? I mean, our generation more sturdy, can tahan lasak, can stay longer. But the younger generation, actually, the attention span is totally different. They're made differently. They have been babysit with iPad or phone since they're babies, okay? All right, so 21st century learner, these are the things. Now, one thing to note is that all the slides that we do, those of you who have already registered, we have your email. I'll send all the slides to you, so you don't need to take photo. If you want to take photo, take photo. If you want to record, you record. Those of you who haven't given your email, please put your email there so that we can email all this to you, because I'm going to run through very quickly this type of stuff. Like 21st century framework, this is the most important chart that you want to know on 21st century framework. Basically, students in school study the core subjects, all right, of the 21st century, and later on how they apply these subjects into life and career skills, learning and innovation, information, media, and technology, whereas the school and the total environment will be actually the support system would choose the standards and assessment, curriculum and instructions, the professional development and learning environment. Now, for example, a school like this, they already met all the conditions. They choose Cambridge. Cambridge, the standard is global, accepted. There's no dispute in any way. The curriculum is very sound, it's very wholesome, it's very holistic. Everything is there already. And they have continued professional development. That means the teachers are always trained, updated twice a year. So the syllabus changed, the textbook updated every year or two. And most of the schools, like, look at this school. And many of your schools, actually, the learning environment, the space, the teachers, the classroom, the technology, the hardware, the software, all these things play a difference to make sure that you have a really nice, wholesome environment to learn. All right? Now, the content knowledge that the key subjects that you study, all right? The key subjects content, these are the most common ones we should do in school. And how does it relate to the 21st century interdisciplinary themes like global awareness, financial, economic, business, entrepreneurial, literacy, and so on and so forth, all right? Now, I could actually go on, but then the thing is that maybe I'll give you a case study, which I always like to use, all right? Now, how do you apply what you learn in school in your daily life? All right? Now, there was one case that I find it really interesting when one day my wife just asked me, the Chinese people, all of a sudden, they like to eat lamb meat. But how does the interest of Chinese people liking to eat lamb meat has caused the uniform prices of Japan to increase? Now, you use your 21st century learning skill, all your English, economics, and whatever study to explain that concept to me. All right, anybody? Why? Chinese people like to eat lamb, and the uniform prices in Japan has increased. So, sorry? Okay, partially. Maybe I'll just give you the answers because I think for a few days I can't, only she give me the answers actually. So the first thing is, basically, as the society get more affluent, this was many years ago, as society get more affluent, people want more high-class stuff. I want to eat the best meat, the best lamb meat, it tastes good, and stuff like that. Then, who is the country that produce lamb? Australia and New Zealand. So I'm going to import the meat from Australia and New Zealand. Now, when there is high demand for meat, what happens? Price goes up, right? And you dedicate more resources to meat farming, right? And what are the limited resources, the basic scarcity of resources of land and time and resources? What do? People will produce more meat and produce less wool. All right? They will redeploy resources to produce meat. So when you produce more meat, you have less wool. When you have less wool, what happens? When there's short supply, the prices goes up. Okay? So that is one economic factor. Then the other thing is that you need to actually dye the wool and stuff like that. And then they have global awareness. They have the health literacy, civil literacy. You cannot simply dispose of the hazardous chemical just like that, you know. So the government come out ruling of having more safety in the production of uniform and wool. So when the government put more stringent requirements, it will cost the company more to actually produce that uniform as such, all right? Then there are other factors of, what do you call that? Demand, supply, shipment, and so on and so forth. So all this factor of geography, of economics, of government and civic, health literacy, environmental standards and stuff like that, finally, the uniform in Japan has increased by 8%. Because the Chinese people far, far away, all of a sudden they find that they like to eat meat. All right? Now, there's also some people who joke about, you know, the Chinese have a second child policy. They believe that they eat meat, they be more virile, and they can get a second child after many years they haven't produced baby. But that one is like fake news or other people's deduction. But the thing is that lifestyle and the improvement of economic. Now, this is a very simple example of getting the students to think, why do you study? What are the courses that you study and how does it affect you in your daily life? How do you apply it from all the academic studies you go through? All right, I won't go into details. Some of the important stuff is like learning and innovation skills, which the school is supposed to be covering, information, media and technology skills, career and life skills, these are all the stuffs. And then the thing is that Education 4.0 is all about technology, anywhere, anytime, personal, flexible, peer mentoring and all this stuff, student ownership, personalization, collaboration and stuff like that, which you can actually read about it later on. All right, these are some of the traits. All right, I won't go into details, but generally, we need students to be trained and not taught. You teach them the life skills. Actually, frankly, we are actually preparing them for VUCA world. What does it mean by VUCA world? VUCA world, that means you will be going to a world that is going to be volatile, that's going to be uncertain, that's going to be complex, that's going to be ambiguous. Now, every parent in our heads and our minds is that the thing we worried about is that, oh, my child is sometimes like so soft. How are they going to tackle the real world? Will they be able to earn a living? The main important worry for every parent and teacher is that, will my kid be able to earn a living? All right? So the thing is that, but if you give them the skills, you teach them how to solve problems, you teach them how to think, you teach them how to handle stuff systematically and stuff like that, then you don't need to worry. They will have the skills. When the challenges come, they know what to do.